A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to continue from where I had stopped in the previous channeling, which said DM entices DF for booty calls while DF only wishes to accept unconditional love. This is the part 2. First of all, we need to understand why there is a doubt, or why is there some kind of inhibition in the DF, why she is 100% not like going straight into something. First of all, that's because of her past experiences. Also, the false twins and the karmics, they have specially made her feel that she's only an object, and in some cases even the twin has done that. Maybe the twin heals later on, maybe he goes through his journey later on, maybe all those things will become nice and positive, and he will also learn that we are all souls, we connect with each other because of our soul, and we don't connect because we are a body. In the twin flame journey, if you are in a earthly relationship, if you are in a karmic relationship, you are in a worldly relationship, if you are in a materialistic relationship, then your relationship will not be complete without having sex multiple times, or once in a day, or a few times in a day, or whatever. That's their prerogative, but relationships are incomplete without those things. However, in the twin flame journey, that's not the case. Twin flamers are looking for true love. Somebody had commented on my previous video that I want only conditional love, and because without the body the soul cannot exist, blah blah blah. And I don't have a problem with comments. Please write whatever you want, I don't really care, but do not waste your time. That's my whole thing. Why are you wasting your precious time? Put it into something which is conditional, put it into something which is body oriented. Be it a twin flame, be it a star seed, be it a light worker, all these people, they fall into the category of ascensioners, because their core work here on planet Earth is to ascend and do their mission work. If anyone feels differently about it, definitely it's not your path. If you have been doing this journey for 7 years, 8 years, 10 years, and still you are very body oriented, or you are very spiritual in your rituals, you pretend in front of the world that you're a spiritual person, you do yoga, you eat vegetarian food, you do this, you do that, you preach other people love God, love this and love that, but within your heart you also yearn for a materialistic relationship, for a hardcore 3-dimensional relationship, then this journey is not for those people. Don't waste your time. I'm going to recontinue from the place I stopped. DM entices DF for booty calls while DF only wishes to accept unconditional love. This is the part 2 of this channeling session. Along with the channeling, there is also some guidance in it. Now, first and foremost, one needs to understand the plot. The plot is such that there is a DM and there is a DF. Okay, both like each other a lot. In this case, especially, I'm not talking about other different cases here. I'm specifically talking about 2 people who are doing inner work. Okay, so even when you do inner work after the illumination, in the harmonization phase also, it happens that both of them are very aware that in the ascension journey, sexual love has no role to play. Affection is different, taking care of each other is different, feeling love for each other is different, because if you feel love for somebody, you feel love for somebody, you can't change that. In fact, after doing a lot of inner work, you also understand who you love for real. Before that, you will be confused with the karmic, you will be confused with the twin flame, the false twin flame, you will be confused about the nature, about the qualities, about the things that attract you. Sometime you would be attracted to a very materialistic man who's very body oriented, who's very, very sexually oriented, and you would keep on making that mistake. Even if you are in the spiritual realm, or you think that you're working in the spiritual work, you're doing some kind of mission work, your life is mission oriented, but you would still be trapped in the problems of making money. The first thing in the morning you'll do when you wake up is, how do I earn more money? How do I do this? How do I do that? Whereas a real ascensioner would enjoy the morning. Most people who are in ascension journey, they love the morning time. That's why, there is a struggle. Should I sleep at this time or should I remain awake at this time? So you would be enjoying the morning breeze, the morning time. In the Sanatan Dharam, this time is called Brahma Muhurat. From 3:30 to 5:30, this is a very auspicious time, and they say that whether or not, the whole day, whether you do chanting or prayers or not, that's another part. People love to do it whole day also. They love to be integrated with source. But if you do your inner work, especially between these two, 3:30 to 5:30, if this is the time you do your work, your whole day would go on happily. You will be very charged, you will be very boosted. Why do we need to do source integration? Because we get charge from it, we get energy from it. And the sexual relationships that are without love. First of all, if you love somebody, then this is not going to be the most important thing for you. Other things will be so important: living together, traveling together, doing some kind of a DIY together, cooking together, going out for a walk together. And most importantly, you would both be in the zone of source integration. And if, say, the DF is totally into source integration, the DM would respect that. He would not be one of those people who would crib about it or make faces, or he would be selfish person, like you should only take care of me, you should love me, you should, do this, you should serve me, you should be my slave. Even if he doesn't want to say it in words, but he would want her to only serve him. These are all immature DM behaviors. Like Meera, we have spoken about Meera. If you are a regular listener of this channel, then you would be aware about it. If you just come and go, you might have missed it. But regular subscribers, old subscribers, first of all, thank you so much for being here. And actually, you guys write to me. Some of you write to me in my DMs. Some of you write in the comments. There are some people who have never asked me any other question apart from how to strengthen their ascension journey. There are some people, even in the readings, when they take readings from me, they tell me that I just wanted to talk to you, I just wanted to share with you my progress of ascension, and my questions are all related to how do I improve, how do I release the blocks, how do I become a happy person, how do I release codependency. This is what I've been doing. So there are people who I know with my experience are really literally doing inner work, and these are the people who are very patient. They know that Rome was not built in a day. But the impatient ones who want conditional love, who want bodily love, who only want a 3D stamped relationship, they are the ones who are always in a hurry. They think in their heads that twin flame journey happens in one day, or in 2 months or 3 months. Why do you think somebody has to make these regular channelings, everyday channelings? Because this is also food for your mind. Listening to these channelings acts like a boost, acts like your an energizer. So if throughout the day you're doing source integration, throughout the day you're a devotional person, you're doing acts of kindness, or you put your mind, you're not into good and bad anymore. You're more into authentic lifestyle, living without validation, living without codependency. For information on private sessions, personal readings and therapies, please check out the description box. It has all the important links and information, including the link for my book In the Name of Love, based on the journey of finding your ultimate soulmate. So between the DM and the DF, if the DM is not that conscious, maybe he is conscious, maybe he believes in source integration, but he could also be very much attracted to the DF. It's nothing wrong in that. Maybe he is only attracted to her, and maybe he also wants to tell her the same thing, that I'm only attracted to you. But at the same time, it's human mind. It has old habit patterns. It has these bad habit patterns, or a very strong patriarchal conditioning, where even though he loves her, even though he likes her, but he wants a woman who is going to serve him. Let the woman serve you without you saying it. Let the woman make a meal for you. She loves you, she'll make a meal for you. If she likes you, she's going to do something nice for you. But don't make it a forced thing, or don't make it an expectation. In this channeling session, as I said, this one is specific to this problem, or this type of dance also. So he's trying to entice her. He wants to tell her that I belong to you and I only love you, but at the same time he has very materialistic demands, very bodily demands. So this is the thing that is confusing her, and this is the reason why she wants to draw a line and she wants to make a boundary that, look, I only want you to love my soul because this body is temporary. And though he says the same thing, or maybe he also wants the same thing. Now, let me tell you one more thing, that if this is happening, he is also mirroring the DF somehow. So it could be that while doing her inner work, while doing source integration, there is some kind of confusion that keeps cropping up because, there are some other addictions, some very subtle addictions, or some deep-rooted programming that's within her. Because of sexual abuse, because of physical abuse and assault, because of really hardcore narcissistic personality disorder in one of the adults, if they are raised with a lot of selfishness, selfish adults, when they raise children, man or a woman, they always destroy them, they always give them so many wounds. So if the DF was raised by a narcissistic mother and a father, then they would not have cared about her feelings at all. And in this situation, she would have kept on attracting men, relationship upon relationship with men who only want her to serve them, just like the adults, whatever they did. If she has healed her wounds, maybe she went through therapy, or maybe she did her inner work, whatever she did, but she has healed her wounds and she found a strong base. She is financially secure, she her sacral is fine, but somehow her solar plexus is not fully there yet. So she keeps falling into that old depressive thought that, do I need to prove myself? Would I ever be good enough for this person? Because there will be bodily expectation, there will be sexual expectations, there would be, and then there will be drama, there will be arguments around stupid materialistic things. If you want to argue about inner work, if you want to argue about releasing blocks, if you are good in communication doesn't mean one person gives an order and the other person has to take it. And this is for both DM and DF. Meera was one of the very known devotees of Krishna, and she used to chant Ram. So she was a devotee of Krishna since childhood. But she was facing a lot of problems in her devotion, and those problems started appearing after she got married to her Ranaji. Okay? You can either watch the movie or you can read about her, even though the movie has not laid emphasis on how she got ascended. They have mentioned that she got ascended, but she started growing in her journey after she started chanting the name, the sound Ram every day, all the time, after she got it via initiation. And because of that, her solar plexus, which is her third chakra, the Manipur chakra, it got unblocked. Before that, husband of Meera, even though he loved her, there was so much love, everything was there, but he was always jealous, always cribbing, always expecting too much from her, creating problems in her routine, creating problems in her inner work, always questioning why you pray to God, why you do this, why you do that. Am I more important or is God more important? So his competition was not another man. His competition was with Krishna. But poor Meera, she was really struggling hard because she was, since childhood, as a girl, her mother had taught her, you are married to Krishna. Obviously, she did not mean it was a materialistic marriage or this, but she said that God is your husband, God is your everything. So as a child, she was totally into that thought. So her difficulty was, how do I fulfill my mission or my godly love? Okay. And when she was finding a lot of difficulty, then she met a guru, because her husband would not even let her go to the temple. He would say, you're a queen. Later on, he created a temple, he made a temple inside the palace only, so that she could not go out. So for everything, he would not support her, he would always question her. And slowly and gradually, with time, with ascension work, she became stronger, more confident, to a point where she did not need to serve him or, always please him. One fine day she was like, okay, I don't need to do this. She was not codependent after that. And she even had to drink poison in front of the whole public as a punishment for being a devotee. And guess what happened? She had to drink one whole cup of poison, which is like a death penalty actually. She drank the whole cup and nothing happened to her. Nothing happened to her. And the masses were there to witness. So this is the power of ascension, that even poison became in Hindi we use the word amrit, which is called nectar. Life-giving nectar. It turned into that because of her power, because of her devotion. So eventually Rana, her husband, also realized that she's just a true pure devotee. I have her body, but I cannot get her soul like this. If I want to connect with her soul, then I have to understand that love is not only bodily oriented. Love is actually from your heart, from your soul, from your mental thoughts. You create love or you don't create love. Mental thoughts, that's why we need to work on them. We need to tame them. Because these mental thoughts can create blocks. These mental thoughts come from our programming. And that's why we say we don't have to be the master of, the mind cannot be your master. You have to be the master of your mind. You need to tell your mind what to do, what not to do. What not to do, not the other way around. Like I was watching this show, but I watch it because it is psychologically also good. Like for a psychologist, it's a good study. But I was just watching a pair, where the woman is constantly saying the same lines. I want you to understand me. I want you to understand me. I want you to do this for me. I want you to do that for me. And there is too much of hugging and kissing and holding each other and, picking each other. There's too much of touch involved in this relationship. Now, this is a very public relationship, which means that there are shows where people meet on the show and they fall in love. I don't understand how you can meet people on a television show where there are 100, 200 cameras and then also genuinely fall in love with them and then stick on to it. So this is the reason why these type of relationships, you can just look at them not as content, but you can look at them as to what type of things you should totally not do, totally avoid in life. So, and then the man who's also very touchy-feely, very, hugsy and this and that, he also started getting irritated because there were way too many demands and orders from another person. So be it a man or be it a woman, nobody likes to get into the mode of orders. You do this for me, you do that for me. Okay, now this is one thing where you see the toxicity. Then there are very cute relationships also where, one person orders the other and the other person says okay. So what is the difference between crazy and cute? The biggest difference is that the love in one place is conditional and the other place is unconditional. When it's unconditional love, you can do anything, trust me. And that's why I say there's a thin line between unconditional love and conditional love also. When it's cute love, you can do anything because you don't have any fear of losing the other person. You can literally piggyback on them the whole day and they won't mind it. But when you tell them, or when the other person tells you that I'm tired, I need my own space, please let me do my inner work, or please let me get back to my things, or even when they're together, they are still doing inner work. They're not attached to each other. The other person will understand. The other person will not create a drama around it, will not create a scene around it, will not be like, oh, okay, now you want space? That means you don't love me. Now you want to go away from me? That means you don't love me. Now in intense, hardcore Rana Chaser dynamic where there is a long separation, this is the thing. When the masculine goes away for a long time, the feminine sits and thinks that she's not lovable. He ain't coming back. He doesn't care about me. He ran away from me because I'm unworthy, because something is wrong with me. It's all my fault. He will never forgive me, blah, blah, blah. So instead of saying these type of what ifs, the feminine should say that I am irreplaceable in his life. That he loves me unconditionally. That no matter what happens, we always make up. Even if we fight, even if we have a disagreement, even if we argue, we will always be together. And when you are sexually involved with a person, at least in the twin flame journey, I don't know about others, I'm going to talk about ascensioners, because other people in the 3D world, in the 3-dimensional reality or the materialistic reality, people cannot live without cheating on each other. Even if they don't totally, fully, physically cheat, they'll still cheat to some extent. Why? Because this is a world of narcissistic people. Narcissistic people, they cheat, they lie. They are pathological liars, they are cheaters, they are home wreckers, or whatever you want to call them. They'll do, within the family also they do a lot of politics, okay, because they want to be the best. So even at the cost of their partner's happiness, they would want to be the best. But in ascension world, that's not how it is. In the ascension world, we take care of each other as much as we take care of ourselves, okay. If you are a vegetarian person, for example, and your partner is not, you are not going to force them to change, but you will continue on your path. You know that you're on the right path. You know that this is the correct path. You know that you want to be a selfless person who's kind-hearted, okay? And you want to do this and you want to do that, but you'll never force them, because the more you force them, the more you try to prove a point, the more you get revengeful, the more you act it out the same way they are doing it, they will do it even more. They will keep on irritating you because you are reacting. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. This is scientifically proven. Also scientifically proven. Okay. So one thing about this channeling is that if the DM is mirroring something or showing something too much, then the DF also needs to think, why is this happening? Why is my DM only talking about sex, only talking about making these type of sexual relationships? Why is he not concerned about inner work? Why is he not happy when I'm a devotional person? Why he doesn't talk about nature? Why he's not, meeting me for simple things like taking a walk, or just going out to get something, or just meeting each other? And why is there a pressure on me to always look attractive, beautiful, always ready, always nice, always? And if it is coming from a space of conditional pattern programming, then there's something wrong. If the same thing comes from, as I said, unconditional love, like he finds you beautiful, he finds you very pretty, and he says, okay, I have a very nice dress for you, would you want to put it on? Maybe you look nice. There is love, but there is no forcing. And if the DF says, no honey, I don't like this dress, I don't want to wear it, he's not going to take it to his heart and say, oh my God, she doesn't love me, she doesn't respect me, this and that. Even from the feminine's perspective, she'll say, okay, if she doesn't like it, she'll say, okay, I'll put it on for you, only for once. If I like it, I'll continue. If I don't, then don't force me. He would not mind it. So there will be patience, there will be acceptance, there will be understanding, but there will not be any lust. If there is lust, he will run away. Trust me on this. If there is lust in a twin flame journey, lust means he will run away. And this lust is also being mirrored by the DF. So the DF also needs to do inner work, that why is he showing this to me? Again and again, again and again. Maybe I still don't have enough self-worth. Now it's not about him, that am I good enough for him or not. Now it's about you. Am I good enough for my own self? And you don't do it with pressure. You do it with surrender. You surrender to Source, you ask your angels, you ask your masters to help you out. You ask them for guidance, that I'm not able to understand this thing fully. Although I really want to be with him, I want him to be next to me, but I'm very scared. Is he going to accept me the way I am? Maybe the feminine is busy into mission work and she has reached to a point, she's not going to leave her mission. She'll leave anything, but she's not going to leave her work, whatever she's here to do, because it's a very important stage of twin flame journey, very advanced level stage where you're completely into mission work, because you get a lot of charge, you get a lot of boost, you get everything from the mission work. Your mission is the reason why you're here on planet Earth. So she's not going to give it up for lust, and she's not going to give it up for a 3-dimensional tag. And this is the reason why some of my clients, when they come to me after going through a separation, after being married, after meeting their DM, after getting love confessions, when they come to me, they're very stressed out. So this is the one thing for sure. I won't tell you the whole therapy session because it's a long session. But one of the key things I tell them is don't hold on so tight. Don't hold on so tight. If you're a spiritual being, then why are you scared? Just the body has gone away. His soul, his love for you has not gone anywhere. There could be disagreement. Maybe he wants to do something else and you are happy with your mission. Are you in the mood to leave your mission, leave everything behind and go looking for him? If not, then keep doing what you're doing, because let's understand, it is the runner who also has a hard time, because the chaser is still in that space. Like there is a nest, there are two birds, they live in a beautiful nest, and say one is the runner and one is the chaser, for example. In fact, this runner chaser, as long as this tag is there, you have still not surrendered. So for example, the runner wants to leave the nest and wants to go away somewhere. So it is more difficult for the runner because he's leaving a comfortable place, he's leaving a beautiful relationship, he's leaving so many good things just to go out there, and just because somebody or some reasoning or some justification or some friend or some other person, some other bird has told him that, you know, grass is green on the other side, or you'll have a better place, you'll have more grains, you'll have more food, blah blah blah, so why don't you come along with me? And based on that, this male DM bird goes away. But when he goes away, it's only difficult because you have to put in energy when you leave. Running is not easy. Running requires energy. And then you have to find a place, a comfortable place where you have to settle down. You have to do so many things, you know, just to adjust, just to find happiness and peace. But this is why the chaser has more advantage, because the chaser doesn't need to go anywhere. They are not even running, right? They just need to stop mentally chasing this person. And when the DM approaches you, you know, and you feel it's lustful, he's enticing you, he's seducing you, he doesn't need to seduce you. Please understand. It will be organic, it will be natural. If it's meant to happen, it will happen. You won't even get to know. And it will not be of that huge prime importance. And then only it gives you energy, because it is natural and organic. And when it is natural and organic, holding hands feels much better than going full on, you know, with something. Going to, as I said, doing something together, cooking a meal together, decorating a house together, because these things have so much energy, so much high power energy in these type of activities. He is going to support you. He is not going to hover around you only because you look beautiful, because you have a sexy body, because you have a this, because you have a that. He is going to literally be there for you in all possible situations. Even on the days where you're having a bad hair day, he's not going to judge you. Okay, he and she, once again, as I've said before also, that we don't go by the gender. Even in heterosexual relationships, one is a masculine, one is a feminine, and it can be anyone. Okay, so yes, there are these love games being played, and if you feel you are in these games, then you will get tired soon, and you need to quickly go back to devotion. If this is happening, you know that you are clinging on. You are also clinging on. You are also codependent. It may not be huge codependency, but it is still there in some ways or in some parts, because there are some wounds that have not been healed. These wounds that come from these traumatic experiences, long-term traumatic experiences of childhood, these wounds are not that easy to go away. So don't expect something magical to happen in 1 day or 2 days or 2 weeks. That is a very immature way of doing ascension work. Okay. So on this note, I will be closing this channeling session. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.